With kids not going back to a church, meaning adult children, how do we get them to come back? It's an age-old question, and there's no easy answer to that. And the reason for that is this. Most people, when you continuously tell them something, eventually they get tired of listening to it. If every single time they see you, all they hear is, when are you going to start going to church? Why don't you take the grandchildren to church? If that's what they hear each and every time they see you, they're going to stop wanting to see you. Because they're going to hear that and be like, here we go again. And the more we push them to go, the more they resist. We should, on occasion, ask them if they would like to come with us, and then leave it alone. And then maybe a little while later, ask them again if they would like to come with us, but not every single time. And we shouldn't tell them how they need to change their lives and do all these other things. Love them. Set an example of the faith for them. Set an example of the faith for their children, and they'll come on their own. But it's when we tell them, you have to do this, you should do that, they get tired of listening and then they stop listening because they're not interested. Same thing happens to us. Imagine if each and every time you saw a priest at a church, they asked you, did you bring God his money this weekend? How many times does he have to say it before you're like, enough about money? It's not about money. Well, when people see us and all we do is, are you going to go to church? Have you started going to church? It's not about only going to church. Do you want to visit me or not? Something that drives me crazy is when I haven't talked to somebody in a long time and I actually take the effort to reach out and contact them. The first thing they say to me is, well, I wish you would contact me more frequently. And my response is, the telephone works both ways. You could call me, you could message me, you could contact me if you wanted to. You didn't, I didn't, and then you're upset at me and you spend all the time that I have to talk to you complaining about how I don't talk to you. Well, if that's what I get each and every time, how often am I going to reach out to that person before I say, I'm tired of hearing about how I don't contact you, I'm done with you. Same thing. Except it's about going to church. Instead of, when was the last time you were in church? When are you going to take the children to church? Do you want to visit me or not? Because if you don't want to visit me, we don't have to do this again. That's what they're thinking. And I agree with them. It drives me crazy. Set an example. Encourage them from time to time. But don't ram it down their throats because it won't work. All it's going to do is make the wedge bigger, and nobody wants that. That's my answer to that.